All right, so are you ready to get a little bit dark today? We're going deep, deep into a psychological thriller that has kept readers on the edge of their seats.
Oh yeah, this one is definitely a page turner.
It really is. We're talking about The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides.
I'm familiar with this one. Lots of twists and turns.
Oh, absolutely. It's a story that really gets under your skin. And since so many of you have asked us to do a deep dive on this one, we know you're just as fascinated by it as we are.
So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into the heart of it.
Okay, so picture this. You've got Alicia Berenson. She's a famous painter living this seemingly perfect life in London with her husband, Gabriel.
Sounds idyllic so far. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, that's where the thriller part comes in. One night, Gabriel is found dead, shot. And guess who's standing over him with the gun?
Uh-oh. Don't tell me, Alicia.
You got it. But here's the catch. She goes completely silent, refuses to speak a word. The police, the courts, everyone is desperate to know why she did it, but she's not giving them anything.
Talk about a captivating hook. You've got the perfect life shattered, the shocking violence, and then bam, the silent witness. It's like the author took all the classic thriller elements and turned them up a notch.
Exactly. And with Alicia locked away in a psychiatric facility, we meet our other main character, Theo Faber. He's a forensic psychotherapist, and he's completely fixated on Alicia's case.
Why is he so drawn to it, though? Is it just professional curiosity?
It seems like it at first. Theo believes that if he can just break through Alicia's silence, the truth about what really happened that night will come out. But as we get deeper into the story, it becomes clear that Theo has his own demons he's battling. Past trauma, personal struggles. It all starts to bleed into his work with Alicia.
Okay, so he's not just some objective observer. He's got his own baggage that he brings to the table. That's fascinating.
It adds this whole other layer to the story, right? And for us as readers, it makes Theo a more relatable, more human character. We're not just following along with his investigation, we're kind of experiencing it with him, his doubts, his frustrations.
It almost makes you question how much of what he's seeing is influenced by his own experiences. Do you trust his judgment completely? Or could his personal struggles be clouding his perception of Alicia's case?
Right. And then there's the structure of the book, which really throws you for a loop. It jumps back and forth between Alicia's past, told through her diary entries, and Theo's present-day investigation.
Oh, I love when authors play with time like that. You're constantly trying to piece together two separate puzzles, and you're never quite sure how they connect. It's brilliant for building suspense.
Absolutely. And speaking of puzzles, there's this one element in the book that's really stuck with me. It's one of Alicia's paintings, a self-portrait that she calls Alcestis.
Now that name rings a bell. Isn't Alcestis a figure from Greek mythology?
Yeah, and it's not just any myth. Alcestis is known for her incredible sacrifice. She literally gave up her own life to save her husband from death.
Whoa, hold on. So we've got this painting, this self-portrait, named after a woman who sacrificed herself for her husband, and then we've got Alicia, who's accused of, well, the opposite. It can't be a coincidence. The author is definitely trying to tell us something here.
Right. It makes you think about the title of the painting on a whole different level. It's like a hidden message, maybe even a clue. It makes you wonder if Alicia's silence is, in its own way, some form of sacrifice. Or is there something darker at play?
You know, the book doesn't just play with mythology either. It dives into so many complex themes. We're talking about the nature of trust, betrayal, the effects of trauma, and the fine line between sanity and madness. It's really heavy stuff.
It definitely makes you think. Alicia's silence in itself becomes this powerful symbol. It raises all these questions about how we deal with trauma, the secrets we keep, and the different ways we cope.
It also makes you wonder what would make someone choose silence as their response. Is it fear, guilt, or maybe even a form of control in a situation where they feel powerless? It's a lot to unpack.
And just when you think you're starting to understand Alicia, you think you've figured out the pieces of the puzzle, Michaelides throws this massive twist at you.
Oh yeah, the ending of this book. I'm still reeling from it, honestly.
I know. It completely changes how you see everything that came before. It's a mind-blowing twist, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it yet.
Yeah, best to experience that one firsthand. But it definitely makes you question everything you thought you knew about the characters and their motives.
Absolutely. So we've got this captivating mystery, these intriguing characters, all wrapped up in this exploration of psychology and the human mind. It's a story that stays with you long after you finish the last page.
It really does. And you know what? I'm left with this question that I can't shake. Imagine you're in Theo's shoes. You're faced with this patient, Alicia. who holds the key to this mystery, but she won't talk. How do you even begin to approach that? What methods would you use? What ethical lines would you have to be careful not to cross? It's a pretty daunting task, trying to unlock the secrets of someone's mind, especially when they've built those walls of silence so high.
It makes you think about the limits of therapy, the power of the human mind to conceal, and the lengths we go to for truth and understanding. It's a question worth pondering for sure.
Definitely something to chew on.
So there you have it, our deep dive into The Silent Patient, a psychological thriller that will keep you guessing until the very end and leave you with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the dark side of the human psyche.